Hello, bros. We're back with another ghost story. Well, this isn't actually a ghost story, but rather a non-fiction version of ghosts. Book is from 1915. It's the development of Seership and of Hindu and Oriental methods by Swami Bhakta, Vishita. Bought this book years ago, and the only part that interested me, really, it's kind of an interesting book, but lesson 10 of his many lessons teaches you an explanation of ghosts, of the living and the dead. Thought ghosts are caused by the accumulated thought of a race of people around a subject in connection with the local spirits of that part of the earth to which they are attached in thought. Some of these ghosts are war ghosts, national culture ghosts, patriotism ghosts, commerce ghosts, and religion ghosts. The culture ghost of a living race is the totality of a nation's or a race development in taste and civilization, particularly as to art, government, and literature. The culture ghost spurs the people of a race on to improve themselves along national lines, in literature, in the arts, and in the observance of social taste and amenities. A ghost of this kind may tolerate the assumption or absorption by a people of certain features of the national life of another nation. But the national culture ghost work is to influence and modify the newly adopted features so that they combine with the nature of the national culture ghost. A war ghost is the national thought of and inclination towards war, supported by the thoughts of the people as a whole. It is the collective thought of living men. The national thought ghost of patriotism is akin to the war ghost and the culture ghost. Every thought ghost, from the individual to the ghost of the age, has its start, a period of building, a period of power, and an end. Between the beginning and the ending, the activities are controlled by the universal law of cycles. The duration of the cycles depends on the coherence of the thoughts which create and feed the ghost. When the last cycle comes, the ghost ends. The ghosts of a living man, the physical ghost, the desire ghost, and the thought ghost may be made up of different degrees and proportions. The physical ghost is the astral, semi-physical form which holds the cells in physical matter, called the physical body, in place. A desire ghost is the form taken under certain conditions by a part of cosmic desire, individual and appropriated by man. A thought ghost of a living man is the thing produced in the mental world by the continued action of his mind in one direction. The ghost of a living man is made up of many combinations. In every combination, one of these three factors will predominate. The thought ghost gives direction and coherence. Desire furnishes the energy, and the physical ghost gives physical appearance where that is seen. Sometimes a ghost will appear of the person of a blood relative, or of a lover, or a close friend whose physical body is many miles away. The apparition remains for a short time only. It may convey a message, or it may say nothing, but it leaves an impression upon the person who saw it about his work or danger or something else. An appearance of this kind is usually a combination of the thought of the distant one with some portion of the physical ghost and the desire to send a message or get information. The intense thought of the distant one, of himself in his physical form, is connected with the relative or beloved. The desire as energy causes a projection of his thought with some of his physical ghost, necessary to give his thought and desire the appearance of a physical form. And so he appears in his physical form to the one thought of. The appearance remains just as long as he thinks of the person. If a person has a great longing to find out the condition of the health of someone he believes sick, or to remember something he has seen or a place he has visited, he may, by intense thought and desire, get this information from his physical ghost by projecting himself in thought. While he is thus in deep thought, and the combination of his thought, desire, and physical ghost is projected to the distant place, it may be that he may be seen, though he will not see anyone who sees him. He will see only the thing his thought is set on. The image here called he, seen by the person, will appear to him in street attire as a rule, though in reality he may not be so dressed. The reason is that when he thinks of himself as in the street, he naturally thinks of himself with his hat on and in street dress. Unless you are experienced in going out in the thought form and thus gaining any desired information, no direct or accurate information will be gained as to the present condition. Only an impression will result. In these cases, the thought ghost will predominate over the other two. A case where the physical ghost dominates over the other type is the appearance of one in the moment of his dying. Many times have ghosts appeared to relatives in the art of drowning, of being murdered, of dying on the battlefield, or from accidents. In many cases, it was learned afterwards that the apparition was seen at the very time death occurred to the one seen. Generally, ghosts of this kind are seen distinctly and by people whose psychic vision is not developed. Very often, in the case of drowning, the ghost of the person, with drops of water falling from the dripping garments, the eyes fearfully and longingly fastened upon the beholder, is seen. The form appears solid, as in life. The reason all this is so plainly seen and so lifelike is that the physical ghost is separated from the physical body by the death, and the desire of the dying furnished the energy which drove the spectre in the twinkling of an eye over land and sea. And the last thought of the dying man gave to the ghost the direction of the beloved. Physical ghosts of dead men. The ghosts of dead men are of three kinds: the physical ghost, the desire ghost, the thought ghost. Then there are three combinations of these three. The physical, desire, and thought ghosts were parts of living men who, upon the death of the physical bodies, depart to their respective worlds where they remain a while, then break up, dissipate, fade out, and then enter into animate forms. But in time they will be recollected, and used to build other human personalities into which the soul will reincarnate on the return to earth. The physical body is the ground in which the astral or form body is rooted. The astral or form body of the physical body becomes the physical ghost after death. While in the physical body or issuing from it, the form or physical ghost is in appearance somewhat like smoke or carbonic acid gas. As to color, it is grayish, reddish, yellowish, bluish, or silvery violet hue. The physical body is heavy, but has little density, whereas the physical ghost has little weight, but exceeds the physical body in density. It weighs between 1 and 4 ounces. The process of dying begins by the loosening of the moorings of the physical ghost from the cells, organic centers, and nerve centers of the physical body. This starts at the feet and works upwards. Just as soon as the ghost leaves a part of the body, the latter becomes cold and numbness follows. Like smoke, the astral body curls and rolls itself upwards until it reaches the heart. There it gathers itself together into a globular mass. Then there is a pull at the heart, a gulp at the throat, and it lifts itself out through the mouth. This is generally how one dies, and the usual exit from the body, but there are other exits. Though the astral body is now out of the body, it is possible that death has not yet taken place. The globular mass may remain as it is for some time over the physical body, or it may take on at once the form of the physical. It may still be connected by the magnetic cord of life with the physical. Death does not take place until the magnetic cord is broken. The magnetic cord of life is made of 4 coiling strands within 3 sheaths. It appears to the seer as a silvery strand or slender cord of smoke between the physical and the form above it. As long as this cord is not broken, the body may be resuscitated. Just as soon as this cord is broken, death takes place. It is then impossible for the astral form or physical ghost to reanimate the physical body. The desire ghost and the thought ghost may separate from the physical ghost just at the time of death, and from each other just as soon as death takes place. Or they may remain with the physical ghost for some time, or the desire ghost may remain with the physical ghost, and the thought ghost, I like how they misspelled, ghosts may be separated from both. Just which is determined and depends on what the person thought and did during the life of the physical body. Nothing occurs after death that regulates these matters. The conditions of the physical ghost after death, and particularly the desire and thought ghosts, have been determined by the activity or sluggishness of the mind and desire by the application of, or neglect to apply the knowledge possessed, and by motives which influence the thought and the actions of the person during his physical life. If the mind and desire of the person were lazy and sluggish and without aim or purpose during physical life, they may remain in a state of torpor for some time after death, before separation occurs. But if the desire has been forceful and the mind very active during life, then after death, the desire and the thought ghost will generally not remain long with the physical ghost. In cremation, the fires burn the physical ghost when its physical counterpart is burned. When the physical body is burned up, then there will be no physical ghost to manifest. Cremation, aside from its sanitary advantages, prevents the physical ghost from being used by its desire ghost when the mind has gone, to cause trouble or draw force from living persons. When the globular mass has arisen from the physical body after death, it may take on one or many forms, but finally it will assume the form of what was its physical counterpart. Wherever the physical body goes, the physical ghost will follow. When the desire and thought ghosts are separated from it, the physical ghost will not depart from its physical body unless it is attracted magnetically by a person passing near it, or unless magnetically summoned to a particular place by the presence of a person with whom it was concerned during life. The physical ghost may also be called away from its physical body by certain persons we call necromancers, and these are able to make it appear under certain conditions. Another case of a ghost wandering from its physical body may take place when the body is buried in or near a house which the person had long frequented during life. Sometimes the ghost may wander to a section of the house where the living one did certain things, or where habitual acts were performed by him. Then the ghost may be seen visiting those places and going through the acts as it did them in the physical body, as for instance, if in the physical life it was a miser, and hoarded his savings, hid them in out-of-way places, and frequently went to see if they were still there, and fondled the coins and loved to hear them jingle. However, in carrying out this desire, the physical ghost would have to act in conjunction with the desire ghost, and would appear quite different than as only the physical ghost. As merely the physical ghost, it is seen only visiting the place, and going through the motions mechanically, automatically, and without the eager glint in the eye, or the satisfied look which it possessed during such actions in life, when it had the desire which gave it animation, and when the mind lent an appearance of intelligence to the occasion. It is easy to distinguish between the physical ghost of the dead and that of the living man. The physical ghost of the dead has no animation, and drifts about without any special aim or purpose. When the physical body decays, the physical ghost loses cohesion of form. When the physical form commences to decay, the physical ghost clings to it or moves around it like phosphorescence in the moisture of a decayed log, which is seen in the dark, and the physical ghost disappears with the body, as does the phosphorescence when the log crumbles to dust. The physical ghost is only a shadow, an automaton, a body without purpose, and can harm no one. But if it is used as an instrument by certain forces, it is possible for it to do much harm. The physical ghost can pass through walls and doors as water goes through a sponge, because it is like water, matter of finer quality and lying closer together than the coarse particles of walls and doors. The seer is able to see ghosts most any evening in cemeteries, where there are frequent funerals. There he will see physical ghosts in various stages, from the newly formed physical ghost of a body recently buried to the faint phosphorescence of remains in decay. The physical ghosts which remain near the bodies can be seen by anyone with clairvoyant vision. Sometimes, under favorable conditions, physical ghosts may be seen in burial grounds by people who have apparently no clairvoyant sight. Ghosts are seen sometimes stretched over a grave or in reclining position, and often they arise gently and float into the air so as to keep away from you. At times, ghosts may be seen standing beside the tomb, just as they did when still inhabiting the flesh. Or they may be seated in a free and careless way, with elbow on knee and head on hand, and they will look just as they did when in life they were thinking of something of a serious nature. They assume many different positions. Sometimes their hands will be clasped behind the back, and with head inclined they will walk up and down a certain distance, as they did formerly when thinking over a problem. These are some of the many different positions in which the seer sees the ghost when they are above ground before the physical body is decayed, and after it is decayed a good deal, and sometimes when well preserved, the physical ghost may be seen close to the ground, or suspended in air as a thin smoke or a heavy fog cloud. There are three factors that determine whether a ghost can be seen, namely, the physical body of the ghost, the prevailing magnetic influences, and the psychological organism of a physical dead body. The skin, flesh, blood, fat, and marrow supply the physical condition, even if the physical body is in the last stages of decay. The proper magnetic condition takes place when the moon exerts a stronger influence on the physical body than does the earth. Any person who is psychically inclined at all and who is sensitive to lunar and terrestrial influences is able to see ghosts when the conditions are right. Anyone who is easily affected by different atmospheres of places and of whom the moon and moonlight makes impressions favorable or unfavorable is sensitive to terrestrial and lunar influences can see the physical ghost when the two other conditions are supplied. The family ghost. The family thought ghost is originated by one member of the family thinking over some certain feature, aim, trait, or misfortune of himself or someone of the family. By continually thinking a certain thought, it increases in force and body and becomes a complete thing, a definite entity of the original thought. When the idea of this thought ghost is communicated to other members of the family, they will value some of its deeds and be impressed with the belief that, when seen, it appears to give warning of some impending misfortune, all of which the originator believed. This is how the family ghost is born. First, one member sets forth his belief and impresses the others with the importance and reality of the belief, and then, contributing his part of the belief, it adds strength and life and influence to the thought ghost. The family ghost of misfortune is generally started by one of the family feeling that something is going to happen. This feeling is communicated to other members of the family, and then, if something does happen, it becomes a fact. The theory is supported, and the thought ghost becomes a reality in the minds of the family. The thought ghost will generally appear to them as forewarnings. They continually live in the apprehension that something is going to happen. That thought compels the things to happen. The family gives the ghost extra force by telling of the many warnings it has given of the disasters and tragedies in the family. The instances are generally much magnified by the family, and by this the ghost is nourished. The ghost furnishes the phenomena which supplies the faith in the supernatural, and it will be likely to make the members of the family impressionable, and also is likely to awaken their astral senses of clairaudience and clairvoyance. Many people receive warnings clairaudiently or through clairvoyance. Many receive warnings through a certain word that is repeated at the same time, or there will be a certain family sign, as the sudden appearance of a man or woman or child, or an object in the shape of a dagger or a cross. The shape will depend on what is to happen, whether sickness, accident, loss, or something else. The death ghost is generally born in a curse. The curse is thrown at the person, or the suggestion about a person of his family is impressed upon his mind, and he builds up the mental specter of death. When he passes beyond, or someone of the family does, the death is an established fact and becomes a reality in the thoughts of the family and is nourished by their continued thoughts, as are other family ghosts. A death ghost becomes a fixed reality, or is expected to give a warning when someone of the family is about to die. It may use as its manifestation the breaking of a mirror or other furniture, or the fall of something suspended from the wall, a bird flying into the room and dropping dead, or it may choose some other manifestation which the family recognizes as the warning of the ghost that death is near for someone of the family. There is not a case recorded where a warning was given and death was prevented, so these warnings are of very little practical use, outside of showing that everything is known in advance before it actually takes place. All thought ghosts can be broken up by lack of nourishment. The family thought ghost will continue to exist as long as it is nourished by the members of the family. People outside the family who may know of the family ghost may remind them of it, but only those of the family can nourish it. Just as soon as the family loses belief in the ghost, it dies from lack of nourishment. Or sometimes it is destroyed by the strong will of some member of the family. To destroy the thought ghost, all that is necessary is to do something that is contrary to the nature of the ghost. By doing this, it will have a dissipating effect upon the thought ghost, and it will also influence the minds of other members of the family and stop them from supplying the nourishment which is necessary for the maintenance of the ghost. Physical Ghosts of Dead Men will be read tomorrow. Goodbye.